Metro Manila is now under moderate risk as daily COVID-19 cases continue to increase. The so-called Poblacion Girl admits skipping quarantine to party with friends in Makati. More firecracker-related injuries are recorded ahead of the New Year celebrations. In line with that, let's talk about some do's and don'ts on firecrackers and fireworks for the New Year festivities. And let's have a quick tour at the new and improved Manila Zoo. Fast, focused, and fearless. Here's everything you need to know to jumpstart your day. I'm Riza Diaz. The Octa research says Metro Manila is now at moderate risk for COVID-19 after infections once again breach the 1,500 mark. Gregorio has the report.
Crowds continue to flock to various public places such as malls and markets despite the risk of COVID-19 transmission. Most of them say that as long as they stick to protocols and are already vaccinated, then it should be fine.
Wala naman po hindi nakakatakot eh. Nakaraos nga tayo ng 2 years, di ba? What more po kaya ngayon?
Kompleto na po kami bakuna, tsaka naka-third dose na kami.
Naka-booster shot na ako. Oo, tsaka hindi ko tinatanggal ang aking face mask.
On Thursday, new cases doubled from 889 on Wednesday to over 1,600, much higher than the 400 new infections logged on Tuesday. The positivity rate also went up from 0.9% last week to 6.6% today. The reproduction number in Metro Manila also increased to 1.47 from 0.51 last week. The Octa Research Group said that the region is now considered at moderate risk. The group now sees new cases reaching 2,000 by year-end. Even worse, Octa says daily infections could even hit 8,000 by the first week of January.
It's a possibility, but I would say that there's a good likelihood of that happening given the substantial increase in the positivity rate and the number of cases over the past few days.
The increase in cases is also being felt in some hospitals.
Nitong nakaraang linggo ay napansin namin medyo dumami. So yung iba parang from 1 naging biglang 9, ganon. Ganon kataas, ano? So yung sa amin namang ospital, biglang kunyari sa 10 tao na tinest namin, 4 o 5 doon nagpa-positive for COVID.
The PCP attributes the increase to the poor implementation of protocols and the failure to observe minimum public health standards. The DOH is now urging the public to diligently follow health protocols to prevent a possible surge come 2022. For News 5, Greg Gregorio, we are One News.
For one doctors group, this uptick in COVID cases is mainly caused by higher mobility during the holidays and disregard to minimum health protocols. Speaking to the big story, Philippine College of Physicians President Dr. Maricar Limpin said that they are worried with a sudden increase in cases. She also noted that in some hospitals, admissions due to COVID-19 have ballooned to almost triple the number of cases prior to the uptick. Limpin thus reiterated that in otherwise healthy people, vaccines do not prevent infections, but only severe cases. However, for people with comorbidities, she also said that there is a possibility of developing some severe symptoms.
We are all worried, actually, not to be honest. The numbers is no joke. It is really reflective of what is happening on the ground. We still believe that it is primarily driven by the increased mobility of people and also with the with the seemingly, non-observance of the minimum public health standards.
Tourism Secretary Berna Romulo Puyat said Gwyneth Chua admitted to being with infamous Poblacion Girl who skipped quarantine to go partying. Puyat confirmed that many other individuals tested positive after going to the same bar as Chua. The tourism chief said that Chua's quarantine hotel lied to the agency and said Poblacion Girl was still in quarantine with them. But Chua's friends signed a sworn affidavit that they were already out with her the day after she arrived in the country.
The girl was in fact saying na nagyayabang siya kasi they were wondering na kasi kakadating lang niya, bakit kasama nila. And then she said that she told her friends na she had connections daw. Kaya she could cut quarantine.
Oh, wow.
Yung malas, on her 5th day, bumalik sa hotel, nagpa-swab, nag-positive. Tapos yung mga ibang nakasama niya, nag-positive rin. In fact, yung mga establishments, nag-positive rin sila doon. So, ang dami nag-positive because of the girl.
Meanwhile, hospitals have recorded 26 firecracker-related injuries as of yesterday. 9 or 35% of these cases occurred in Region 6. Sentinel Hospital says there was no fireworks ingestion, stray bullet injury, or death reported. Yesterday's figure was already 86% higher than the 14 recorded during the same period last year when New Year's celebrations were muted due to stricter lockdowns. But it still is 63% lower than the 5-year average of 71 cases during the same time period. Now, other than the threat of serious injuries due to firecrackers, health experts are also cautioning the public against some activities during the New Year celebrations that might be COVID-19 spreaders. Mobile journalist Jacob Lazaro gives us a front seat to the story.
Firecracker-related injuries have always been the bane of the New Year holidays.
Noong 2017, nalala ko nung nag-apply pala ako dito, ang daming madami may dugo, nagpuputol kami ng daliri, ganun. We had so many cases even before the New Year.
But even in the midst of a pandemic, firecrackers are taking their toll. During last year's celebration, 13 people were injured from December 21 to December 29. This year, the number has almost doubled to 25. Under Executive Order 28, signed by President Duterte in 2017, firecrackers can only be used in community fireworks displays under supervision of both the PNP and the LGU. This means Piccolo, Watusis, 5 stars, and other large firecrackers cannot be used by ordinary people.
Yung firecrackers kasi parang hindi mo magigets kung kailan siya puputok. Lalo na yung mga hindi quality na firecracker.
But the other traditional noisemakers is no longer safe to use because of the pandemic. Horns, whistles, and even the karaoke are being discouraged because of the danger of COVID transmission. Celebrating anything during the pandemic is very stressful, as almost everything is not allowed. So with all of these restrictions, how can we festively celebrate New Year's Eve? Well, there are some alternatives. The DOH encourages smashing of pans, tambourines, bells, light-emitting devices, and percussion instruments. Also, pyrotechnic devices are not banned, just regulated. Roman candles, fountains, and sparklers are available, so as long as they're used in designated areas.
As I said, proper regulation is the best. Regulation is the problem.
Ong reminds the public to first always check if the product has a product safety seal and to make sure that the brand is trusted. Mobile journalist Jacob Lazaro, we are One News.
Now, heads up, zoo lovers. The Manila Zoo has finally reopened, with the city government of Manila set to announce the opening of the zoo to the general public. Camille Samonte has the report.
2 years after its closure, the Manila Zoo finally reopened on Thursday. Some families of the construction workers of the zoo have been invited by the Manila LGU for a sneak peek and to enjoy the new look of the park. At the entrance of the zoo, visitors will be greeted with a replica of Mali, the zoo's famous elephant who has been a resident since 1977. Mali's pen was also renovated, now more spacious, along with a pond which is still under construction. The new Manila Zoo also features a bigger aviary with an elevated walkway to give visitors a closer encounter with birds. Viewing decks are also installed around the animal closures. The zoo now also showcases new attractions such as the Animal Museum, Botanical Garden, and Butterfly Garden with their respective viewing loaves. To ensure safety and proper sanitation, a sewage treatment plant has also been installed inside the zoo. According to Manila Mayor Isko Moreno, they invited the families of the zoo staff to express their gratitude. Moreno also announced that they will waive the entrance fee of the zoo for the whole month of January.
The last time na ito'y ginawa in 1959. After that, wala na. 60 years thereafter, magkakasama tayo ngayon. Kaya, ang pagpapasalamat namin sa inyo'y ganun na lamang sa mga manggagawang Pilipino. Ngayon, kayo ang bida, kayo ang unang titikim ng bagay na inyong ginawa, 10 ng inyong mga pamilya.
Some families were also grateful to be the first ones to experience the new Manila Zoo.
Ang laki ng improvement, ang laki ng development, parang wala ka sa Manila Zoo dati. Para ka nasa ibang bansa. Nakakatuwa na mayroong ganitong venue for kids.
At the moment, only few animals are inside the zoo. Some are expected to be brought back here by the first quarter of 2022 as soon as they're done with the renovations. Ticket prices, on the other hand, will remain the same, with non-Manila residents to be charged 100 pesos per head, while Manileños are to be given a discounted rate of 50 pesos per head.
Siguro, still muna kami doon. Yes, oo. Siyempre, ang gusto kasi ni Mayor na nabanggit kanina, gusto niya maranasan ng mga taong mahihirap. Ginawa naming competitive to sa ibang mga zoo, 500, 600. Sino makakapasok na mahihirap dito?
The Manila LGU will announce in the coming days the schedule of the opening of the zoo for the general public. They will also release the guidelines and protocols, including the capacity for visitors. The management is also planning to implement cashless transaction to avoid crowding at the entrance area.
Pag nag-online tayo, malalaman mo kung ilan ang papasok. Pag pumasok tayo sa 6,000, na 2 meters ang distancing, cut na kami. Sarado na ang zoo. Okay? Ngayon, pag mo bus, nagkaroon ng bakante, papasok ngayon ng kiosk natin na para sila pumasok at makakuha ng makapag-online. Yes, oo. Basta laging maximum 6,000.
For News 5, Camille Samonte, We Are One News.
Now, here are the stories to watch out for later today. The Trade Department will make rounds in Metro Manila to check on New Year goodies being sold as Filipinos do some last-minute shopping for medianoche items. We'll also give you updates on the sale of firecrackers and fireworks in Bukawe, Bulacan. And we'll take a look at what's in and out in fashion this 2020. And that is how the day is shaping up to be. Join us later again at 9 in the morning as we monitor the day's biggest stories from sunrise to sundown. You can also catch One News on Signal Play app. Register for a free account now at www.signalplay.com and stream One News live anytime, anywhere. I'm Riza Diaz. Mask on, wash hands, and stay safe, Philippines. We are One News.